Yeah, there's another one of those new signings. Greg Stewart was one of those standout players in a couple of seasons back in the ISL. Mumbai City. Yeah, there's another one of those new signings. Greg Stewart was one of those standout players in a couple of seasons back in the ISL. Mumbai City. Yeah, there's another one of those new signings. Greg Stewart was one of those standout players in a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, you'd have to say there's a number of connections there with foreign imports for Mohunbagan Super Giants, with obviously Tom Aldred in there, Jason Cummins, you've mentioned Greg Stewart as well, who've both played opportunities to play in Scotland, played in Australia, and obviously had an impact in Indian football as well. Be disappointed to be left on the bench, but no doubt will be called upon this evening's game and have an impact.
Now at the other end come Bengaluru FC. Here's Pereira Diaz, or rather it's Noguera. Pedro Capo in the middle of the midfield for Bengaluru FC today. Another one of their Spanish signings. Down the right side, Vineet Venkatesh puts the ball in. Two players inside. Deflection of Subhashish Bose. Petratos now. Demi, as he's fondly called. He's been quite the signing for Mohunbagan Supergiant. And now hear the cheer. Hear the cheer. He's been brought down. Manveer Singh, or rather Sahil Abdul Samad, not happy with that decision of the referee. Play goes on. He's contesting that he was brought down. His shirt was tugged, and thus he fell down. Should have been a foul. Referee saying nothing doing.
Yeah, in that 3-5-2 shape that they're playing, he's a real danger man for them, because he's not on the last line against the defenders. He can just pick up them pockets of space and then break the lines in behind. He seems to have lost his cool here with that decision. Sahil Abdul Samad, he's just not quite got what he wanted, but you see he wins that ball and that flick in, and he just gets the trip as the players cross over. It looks like there's been a clash of legs, and he's gone down under the challenge. He's absolutely fuming that he hasn't got the decision.
I can seem to understand his frustration with the referee as well. There was a bit of a clip from intended or not intended. That's not the question really, because the play was in action, and thus you could understand why he was frustrated with the referee's decision. Remember, this is one of the oldest football tournaments in the world. It's definitely the oldest football tournament in India. The first edition of the Durand Cup kicked off in 1988. And ever since then, now it's the 133rd edition of this tournament. Mohunbagan Supergiant, the maximum appearances in the final 29 times, winning this competition 17 times in the process. Also the only side to have won the title 3 years in a row, 1963 to 65 and 1984 to 1986. Sunil Chhetri has been around in this tournament, part of that team that won it in 2022 for Bengaluru FC, beat Mumbai City FC in the final. Mohunbagan Supergiant winning the competition last year, getting the better of their city rivals Imami East Bengal. And slowly but surely the fans, of course, are trickling into the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. It's a stadium that's hosted more than 120,000 at a time for a Mohunbagan Supergiant Imami East Bengal game. The crowd today hasn't reached those numbers, but it's a huge stadium that has seen some iconic clashes in Indian football. Gujarat Zaragoza came in last season into Bengaluru FC. Jose Molina, of course, in his second stint in Indian football. Prior to this, he was with Atletico de Kolkata. Now, of course, they're called Mohunbagan Supergiant. And so after that brief stoppage, play starts again. 24 minutes in. into semi-final number 2. It's the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. And you have Mohunbagan Supergiant taking on Bengaluru FC. Chetri giving chase to Vishal Keth. Plays it long. Finds Singh. Back to Apuya. Has space on the left. Finds Liston Colosso with an inch-perfect cross. Lays it up for Sahal Abdul Samad. Rahul Bheke giving him company.
That's a real clear intention, isn't it? Playing that style that they have. They've got the extra player in the wide area of Mohunbagan Supergiants. They'll be able to make that big switch on. Get Liston in there on that opposite side and slide the ball in, whether it's Abdul Samad on that occasion, just not able to try and keep the ball in play, but definitely a style of play that they're trying to draw in one side of the pitch, draw Bengaluru FC one side of the pitch, and then big switches of play to the opposite side where they've got the free player.
Vineet Venkatesh now. Space on the right for Pereira Diaz. Chetri moving in. Where is that cross going to be? Gets a deflection. Corner for Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get another stoppage in play now. A number of players go down injured in this opening 25 minutes. That's absolutely flown by. Been end-to-end stuff. Not a lot of end product, but there's been a lot of transitions between you have the ball, we have the ball a little bit. No one's really got control.
Yeah, Pereira Diaz, you'd be hoping, would have done better with the end product at the time. Had the time and space to make that cross. Just spent a little too much time before taking that decision to put the ball in. And straight away it's gone down, and a first change is being affected by Jose Molina of Mohunbagan Supergiants. She's Bose will not be continuing anymore, or will not be playing any further part in this game. In place of him, Dipendu Biswas will be coming on the field now. Seems to have come off worse with the challenge in that last attack that they were, of course, defending versus Bengaluru FC. Young Dipendu, jersey number 32, will now be donning the duties as far as the defense is concerned for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Started in the last game versus Punjab FC, and within the first 30 minutes he's been brought on versus Bengaluru FC. Vineet Venkatesh now will be taking that corner for Bengaluru. It's a poor one. It's a poor one. Nevertheless, Rahul Bheke was there, had the option of connecting his head to it. Did get a connection, just couldn't keep it on target.
Yeah, and a little warning sign for Mohunbagan Supergiants there. They were well marked up in the box, but they left two men on the edge just to protect the space. One of the strikers, Petritos there, just not able to follow the run of the man into the box, and that might be a little bit of a warning for them. They've got to make sure they stay strong on the edge of the box as well, but disappointing obviously to lose your captain. Might be a reshuffle. I don't think it'll be a reshuffle in shape. Dipendu, I think he'll just come straight in and slot in that back three, but such a big loss to usually lose your captain so early in the game.
Yeah, it's a big night for young Dipendu Biswas. Has been a part of the Mohunbagan Supergiants setup. Boys coming through the system and rightfully rewarded by getting a chance to play for the senior team. Remember, it's the season opener of Indian football. So from a coach's point of view, you're getting a best competition time to check out what your players are up to. Sahal Abdul Samad puts in a beautiful ball. Just no one in at the end of it. Corner for Mohunbagan Supergiant.
Well, Petritos and Jason Cummins, they're taking the throw in and linking in a wide area, so you'll be disappointed as a coach there. Look at your two strikers are the widest players, so when that ball goes in, that lovely little run and that inside pass, you haven't got anyone in there to be able to finish your move off. It is a lovely move, but your strikers are in a wide area, so whether you can get your opposite side wing back just to try and gamble, or one of your midfielders to try and get in the box in that situation, but it shows they can break in behind them, just not able to get the bodies in the box to finish any chance off.
Ball put in by Mohunbagan Supergiant. Petratos with the corner, falls to Thapa, tries to put the cross in. Numbers inside that box still for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Suresh Wangjam trying his best to win possession back for Bengaluru FC, gets the throw-in for his team. Both teams have created openings at either ends. When you look at it, Subhashish Bose, captain of Mohunbagan Super Giant, will not be playing any further part. It's also that time of the season, Andy, when it might be the competition. Yes, it's a semi-final, but you've got an entire season ahead of you. So from a coach's perspective, you don't want to take that risk regarding a player and his future in the season.
Oh, the main thing is that after he had the initial first treatment, he tried to play on, which showed his intent. It showed he wanted to lead his side. It's obviously someone that the players all respect and look up to as the captain, so he wanted to try and push on, but obviously got a little bit too much. And the one thing you can do in them occasions is actually do more damage. You know, it's not a case of just running off an injury. If it's a muscle or there's some damage there, he just needs to make sure he gets well looked after and gets well rested and gets the treatment he needs away from the pitch. So an opportunity, depending who will come on. As you said, he's previously got minutes in the Indian Oil Durand Cup, so he will have had that experience. He'll have got over some of the nerves by being thrust into some of the other games, but this is such a big occasion for him to step into now.
Yeah, both the coaches, of course, making sure that their ranks are amongst them, giving them as many directions as possible. They've got that 30 minutes to look at, to see how their team is faring on the field right now. Both these teams have given a good account of themselves, at least from an attacking point of view. And it's pretty evident what both coaches are trying to do from the start of this first 30 minutes. Semi-final number 2, Sunil Chhetri starting his first game in this edition's Durand Cup. Remember, he recently announced his retirement from international football. What a great servant he's been for Indian football. Will continue to play for club. And that is great news for all his admirers, all his supporters, all the people he's inspired with his hard work, his dedication. It's a wonderful story. So play starts again. It's the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup 2024, powered by Coal India, jointly organized by the Indian Armed Forces and the government of West Bengal. Noguera, brought down by Manveer Singh. Generally, you've seen with Manveer, more often than not, when he plays for his national team, opts to play down the center. But whenever he's played for club, at least in the last few seasons, he's been playing down that flank. The right flank has been handy, of course, in setting up goals, has been handy in scoring goals as well. And Coach Manolo Marquez would be hoping that he continues his club form once the national team comes together for the Intercontinental Cup. Here's Aldred. On to Manveer. Finds Petratos. Cummings ahead of him. Sahal making that run.
Obviously, gesturing there that maybe he wanted a more angled run, so he didn't have to make the straight pass and run it out of play. Maybe a little inside run off the shoulder would have been better. But it just shows, we mentioned it in the opening 6 to 8 minutes, that they're a threat with them two strikers staying nicely high and wide. It does cost them when they don't have the ball, but they are ready to press and win the ball back straight away and go forward and challenge towards goal.
Yeah, poor bit, of course, first touch by Pedro Capo. Lost possession of the ball, and then, of course, courtesy that the sliding challenge. Don't see too much wrong with it. Can kind of understand why Pedro Capo not too happy with that decision.
Yeah, and he's give Apuya a little bit of his mind, hasn't he? And just let him know that he thinks he's maybe simulating that, and there was absolutely nothing in it.
Petratos puts in a ball. It's an inviting ball. A number of Mohunbagan Super Giant players there. Makes his way straight into the arms of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu.
Yeah, great technique, isn't it? Into that danger area, just inside the post. So it's one of them that you're trying to get a little flick on or try and get something across the face of goal. keeps Bengaluru FC just on the back foot a little bit, getting in behind them. Just got to make sure that they're keep a nice high line and defend that first contact and get the second balls won as well.
It's been that sort of a start to this second semi-final. You throw a punch at me, I'll throw one more back at you. From both sides' perspective, it's been a good watch. Things seem to have slowed down after that first 15-20 minutes between both these sides, as expected as well. But Mohunbagan Supergiant now hoping to end the half well. Remember, 10 minutes of regulation time remaining. Sahal Abdul Samad, Petratos, Liston Colasso have been having a good last 10 minutes for the green and maroon of Mohunbagan.
Yeah, and the challenge for the right back Nikhil there is he has to sometimes go and press the striker, or does he press the wing back on the outside shoulder, Manveer Singh? Which one does he go? And if he goes to obviously one, he leaves the other one free. So I think you'll notice that in the game now, and it'll work both sides, that if the fullback presses one of the two strikers, it'll leave somebody free in the wide area. And you've seen a real strength of Mohunbagan Supergiants has been how they've been able to get down the sides of teams, and they just haven't got that final ball, have they?
Yeah, straight away, of course, in the direction of Manveer Singh, rightfully given in favour of Mohunbagan Supergiant. Suresh Singh Wangjam penalised for that tackle on Manveer Singh. Once again, a ball put in by Petratos. Never going to trouble Gurpreet Singh Sandhu from there. Alberto Rodriguez.
I think with the height advantage that they've got in them areas, it might be worth maybe putting one a little bit deeper and trying to knock one back across the face of goal to get maybe a second phase or get a bit of a scramble in that box, because ultimately he's not going to score from the edge of the box with a header there. So maybe an opportunity to kind of overhit one towards the back post area and stand the ball up and get a ball redirected into the middle of the 6-yard box.
Now Bengaluru FC come down that right flank. Vineet Venkatesh, he's looked good in this game. Puts in a good ball to find Pereira Diaz. Straight away has Thomas Aldred for company. Played back to Nikhil Pujari. On with Vineet. Back with Pereira Diaz now. Good bit of combination play. Has space for the cross. Puts in the cross. But met, of course, by a Mohunbagan Supergiant trailing lead. Corner again for Bengaluru FC.
Lovely combination playing around the box. Very tidy feet. Technically proficient. And the one thing you notice for Bengaluru FC, when that ball came in, they had 3 players in the box. So they're able to commit numbers straight away as soon as that ball's played in. But well defended. Mohunbagan Supergiants, plenty of bodies back in there to make sure there's no way through the wall.
Yeah, it was the new man in, Dipendu Biswas, with that trailing leg. Corner taken now by Bengaluru FC, takes it deep, still not averted. Falls into the feet of Jason Cummings, who lays it in front to Manveer Singh. Now to Thapa. Had Liston Colasso, of course, down that left flank. Completely mishits that pass, and here come Bengaluru FC and Alberto Nogueira. Intelligent play, saw that tackle coming in from Biswas, invited that tackle, and now wins a free kick.
He's shown great fast feet, Alberto Nogueira, so far in this game. Just almost entices them in with slow play. 2 tempos, one to draw the opponent in, and then one just to accelerate away, and almost guides the substitute Dipendu in to try and goad him in to make the challenge, and then goes over to get the free kick.
Okay, they've worked on something. They're playing it wide now. Have found, of course, Rahul Bekhe. Put it back inside. But just no one in from Bengaluru FC able to get at the end of it. And on come Mohunbagan Supergiant now. Jason Cummings down that right flank. Suresh Wangjam isn't going to let him go so easily. Does well to win back possession for Bengaluru. Here's Gurpreet. Falls to the feet of Manveer Singh. Poor clearance. Petratos. Back to Manveer. Sahel to Manveer. Cleared finally by Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, Petratos, you can see him straight away. He's a good little link man, isn't he, into that number 9 position. He wants to get on the ball in
Chance, of course, that opening comes a begging, created by the likes of Sahel Abdul Samad. Then you want your player, your main man, your main goal scorer, to be up front in the box, rightfully placed to get a goal for his team. So far, you've seen a lot of Petratos dropping deep, linking up with midfield as well, and that's the quality of the player.
I think it's ever since they had that water break and maybe a slight change in tactics, because they were really left high up the pitch previous to that, but it looks like they're just dropping Petratos just one player back further down, and leaving Jason Cummins high as an outlet for when they regain possession.
Here comes Vineet Venkatesh, brought down there at Daitapendu Biswas, and referee points to a penalty. 40 minutes in, and Bengaluru FC have been handed a penalty in this first semi-final of the Durand Cup. Liston Colasso not happy with that. Vishal Keth, of course, voicing his displeasure, shown a yellow card in the process by the referee as well. They can argue all they want. They can voice the displeasure all they want. That decision has been given. It's a penalty to Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the replay to make a conclusive decision as it comes in now, but you can see just gets caught the wrong side of him, dangles the leg out, and there's challenge made, there's clear contact made. Enough to bring him down with that leg when it goes over. It doesn't get the ball. It's inside the box, leaves the referee no choice but to give a penalty.
Yeah, good bit of play by Vineet Venkatesh. Getting past Liston Colasso that very first time, had him to take him on, and then drawing in that challenge and getting that penalty, rightfully so, given by the referee as well. And now the onus is on Vishal Keth. Can he repeat his heroics? The heroics that he showed in that quarterfinal versus Punjab FC. Remember, he effected 2 changes in that penalty shootout, a result of which Mohunbagan Super Giant is here in the semi-finals. Manveer Singh, in the process, of course, has been shown that yellow card by the referee for that protest. Standing in front of him is the one and only Sunil Chhetri. Chhetri makes no mistake whatsoever. Sunil Chhetri continues his goal-scoring record versus Mohunbagan Super Giant. He was never going to miss from there. Happiness and, of course, claps everywhere as far as Bengaluru FC is concerned. 42 minutes in, and in this big semi-final, Sunil Chhetri has put Bengaluru FC 1-0 up.
Cool, calm, technically class. Didn't need much of a run-up, as we know, but just can slide the ball home, put his side 1-0 in the lead. And it's all to do for Mohunbagan Super Giants now. You'd have to say it was a clumsy challenge. It's what happens. We mentioned about playing with attacking wing backs. It means when they've got to go back and defend, they're not as natural as doing it as a fullback is, and just getting caught a little bit, hanging the leg out, giving the fouls away, and giving the referee no choice really but to give a penalty in a big moment just as we come up to the half-time.
Yeah, he's been fantastic from the spot. 3 goals in the tournament now, 2 assists in the tournament as well. The majority of those goals and assists coming off the bench. This is the first game he's starting. And his coach vindicated for making that decision to start, of course, with their star man, with their big man of Indian football. Never disappoints, of course. Was always taking the responsibility when it comes to taking the penalties and the free kicks for the national team. And it's so good to see that none of that has changed. Didn't take much of a run-up as well. And here he is again, puts in a ball straight away. Trying to find Roshan Singh. Long-range shot coming in by Suresh Wangjam.
Yeah, just a ball played in. Hopefully there's nobody in there that he's aiming at. But as it comes back out, he's got loads of time, loads of space. I think he might actually just take the extra touch and bring it down and then make his decision to slide a teammate in or take the shot from distance, but opted to play first time. Wasn't far wide in all fairness, but really difficult one to execute from that distance.
94 goals for India, 18 assists from 151 matches. What a goal-scoring record it's been for Sunil Chhetri. He is the gift that keeps on giving as far as Indian football is concerned. Meanwhile, at the other end, Liston Colasso gets past two players, takes that shot, comes off the bar. Unlucky to not draw level. Mohunbagan super giant in this game. Gets a corner.
We spoke about Liston already coming inside onto that right foot. He's done it again. It looks like they're going to take the corner nice and quick.
Petratos now. Jason Cummings again. First time connection goes direct. Unable to keep it on the target. I think it was cleared by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu as well. So another corner. Short corner this time by Mohunbagan super giant. Put in again by Dimitri Petratos. Another corner now for Mohunbagan super giant, who seem to be amplifying and amping the pressure up on Bengaluru FC. 5 minutes of added time as well. Petratos, another good ball put in, this time cleared by Rahul Bheke. Back with Liston. Here's Anirudh Thapa. Puts in the cross. Numbers in the box. There's a brilliant header. Another header. And again, it's the bar that stopped Mohunbagan super giant from drawing level in this semi-final. Alberto Rodriguez rising high. Brilliant header. Brilliant connection. Just couldn't get past the bar.
Oh, it's a really good header and it's a really good spell now. Mohunbagan super giants. They've hit the post twice in the last 2 minutes. They've had a volley at the back post by Jason Cummings as well from the corner that they took quickly while Bengaluru FC weren't set. Bengaluru changing the tactic now, going long, going on to trying to get some territory and slow the game down. But it's all been Mohunbagan super giants. Ever since they conceded that goal, they've been on the front foot. They've been trying to get themselves back into the game, and what chances they've created. Them 3 chances in quick succession.
Yeah, 2 of them coming off the bar. Liston Colasso taking a long-range shot. Then, of course, Alberto Rodriguez header also hitting the bar as well. Remember, went down against FC Goa last season in the Durand Cup semi-final. Fought back in the second half and won that game by a 2-1 margin. They'll have to do somewhat the same this time around as well. Gone down 1-0 to a Sunil Chhetri penalty. But after that penalty, it's been a positive approach and a positive, of course, fight back from Mohunbagan super giant. A strong end to this first half. A good first half in the Yuba Bharati Kridangan. Remember, the winner of this game will take on Northeast United in the final on the 31st of this month. Defending champions Mohunbagan super giant will have to, of course, play like defending champions if they are to get the better of Bengaluru FC. And here they come again. Petratos. Thapa. Plays it by to Dipendu. Finds Sahel. Twisting and turning. That's his game. Beautiful ball. Almost found the run of Jason Cummings. It's livened up now. It's livened up in these last 5 minutes. And it's been all Mohunbagan super giants. They keep coming at Bengaluru FC. Twice getting the woodwork. After going down by 1 goal courtesy of a Sunil Chhetri penalty. That's the kind of response, of course, the entire crowd would be hoping for. Remember, you have another 45 minutes after that. Poor pass this time by Anirudh Thapa. Lucky that it falls back into the feet of Dipendu Biswas. Sloppy bit of play. Now possession with Apuya. 5 minutes of added time. 3 minutes of added time is already up. 2 minutes remaining. What can Mohunbagan super giant do? They've come close. They've come close on 2 occasions. Here's Apuya again. Slow and patient build-up. Exercising control in this game. Thapa puts in a ball. No one there at the end of it. Rodriguez finds Thapa. Has space for the cross. Opts to cut back. Finds Petratos. Just made it a little too difficult for himself to put that ball in. And you can hear them roaring. You can hear them cheering. Back in by Petratos, falls through Sahal Abdul Samad. That first touch letting him down at that occasion. Just not giving Bengaluru FC a bit of a breather in this game. Keep on coming at them ever since conceding that goal to a Sunil Chhetri penalty. Again putting by Petratos, and it's poor this time.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed to end that really good spell of possession without anything from it, whether it's a shot or another opportunity from another set piece. But they've obviously been able to have a sustained bit of possession now, dropping that Bengaluru side deeper and deeper into their own half towards the end of this first half, but without any success of breaking through that blue and white wall.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Sunil Chhetri is giving chase to that ball, ably cleared by Vishal Keth. It's been a good half, it's been a good watch. And if anything, you promises to be an exciting next 45. Not too far away from the referee blowing his whistle. It's semi-final number 2 was the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup 2024. The final, of course, of this competition will be played on the 31st of this month on this very ground at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. As things stand, it looks like Bengaluru FC are taking on Northeast United in the final. And so it's half-time. It's half-time at the Salt Lake Stadium, Kolkata. Sahal Abdul Samad coming close on a couple of occasions. Mohunbagan Supergiant hitting the woodwork on 2 occasions. But it was Sunil Chhetri that gave Bengaluru FC the lead from the spot. And courtesy that goal, Bengaluru FC end half-time, or go into half-time as a 1-goal lead in this semi-final number 2 of the Durand Cup. A huge number of Mohunbagan Supergiant supporters won't be too disappointed with the possession, of course, and with, of course, the kind of intent their team has shown. Nothing separating both the sides as far as possession is concerned. 6 shots for Mohunbagan Supergiant, 5 for Bengaluru FC. 2 on target for Mohunbagan, 1 for Bengaluru FC. More shots, Liston Colasso, he's looked like one of those players, always ready to take those long-range shots. Most touches in the game to Apuya. Ralte of Mohunbagan Supergiants, 34. Most tackles, Manveer Singh for Mohunbagan Supergiant. And so this is how things started off. It was semi-final number 2 coming to you from the Yuva Bharati Kridangan in Kolkata. Sunil Chhetri getting his first start of the tournament. Mohunbagan Supergiant effecting 6 changes from that quarter-final lineup versus Punjab FC. And it started off well from a Bengaluru perspective. Alberto Nogueira getting that chance at the top of the box within the first 2 minutes. And they kept on coming. This time Pereira Diaz had chance. He had space in front of him. Good bit of defending, getting a corner for Bengaluru FC. Rahul Bheke as well, getting at the end of that corner, just not able to keep it on target. While Mohunbagan Giant did come close on a couple of occasions, a couple of good deliveries put in by Dimitri Petratos. This one, Rahul Bheke at the end of another well-worked move by Bengaluru FC. Just no one there at the end of it. And then came this decision. Vineeth Venkatesh getting the better of Liston Colasso, eventually brought down in the box. And Sunil Chhetri stepping up on the spot and giving Bengaluru FC a much-deserved 1-goal lead. But if you thought that was first half done and dusted, it wasn't to be, because Mohunbagan Supergiant came back twice. Liston Colasso and Alberto Rodriguez hitting the woodwork in the dying minutes. We're heading for a small little break. Second half on the other side. Thank you for joining us for the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup 2024, powered by Coal India, jointly organized by the Indian Armed Forces and the Government of West Bengal. And what a 45 minutes we've witnessed at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. It's the first half that was played out in the second semi-final between Bengaluru FC and Mohunbagan Super Giant. Bengaluru FC taken a one-goal lead courtesy of a penalty kick converted by Sunil Chhetri. But slowly but surely, the numbers have started filling in at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan, all in support of the defending champions Mohunbagan Super Giant, who showed quite a fight back after conceding that goal, ending that first half, the last 5-7 minutes of that first half on a very big high. The woodwork stopping them on two occasions, once Liston Colasso, the other, of course, a header from Alberto Rodriguez. And coach Jose Molina would be, of course, using those 15 minutes of the lemon break to spur on his boys. He's got the likes on the bench as well, so expect both teams to make a number of changes. Remember, you have a total of 5 changes at your disposal from a coach's perspective. Already one forced change for Mohunbagan Super Giant. They lost their captain early on in that first half. Subhashish Bose had to come off, and in his place came young Dipendu Biswas. But it's all been about Mohunbagan Super Giant and the attack that they're leading with up front. Dimitri Petratos, there is Jason Cummings as well, and of course you've got that 5-man midfield, all India internationals turning out for Mohunbagan Super Giant. Sahal Abdul Samad has looked like a busy man in that first half. They'll be hoping more of him in the second as well from the green and maroon. Apuya has looked tidy. Liston Colasso has had his moments. Anirudh Thapa hasn't really been able to stamp his authority in the game. It's been a decent half from a Mohunbagan Super Giant perspective. It just seemed to be lacking that cutting edge. The system they've opted for, keeping someone like Cummings and of course Petratos high up the pitch. That means much of that responsibility dropping into that 5 in midfield, those 5 India internationals. But what about Bengaluru FC? Sunil Chhetri continues to find the back of the net, his 3rd goal in this tournament. 2 assists already to his name. Jorge Pereira Diaz, we haven't seen too much of him in the first 45 minutes. Alberto Nogueira has been calling the shots in the middle of the park, and they'd be hoping they continue much the same. It was a good showing from the Blues of Bengaluru FC. My name is Arjun Pandit, and I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by Andy Cooper.
Yeah, Bengaluru FC are in the ascendancy, aren't they, with the lead, but Mohunbagan Super Giants will know that they're well within the game, just a goal in it. They know they've got attacking threat. They do attack with a lot of numbers, the 2 strikers that you've mentioned, and Manveer Singh, Liston on that left-hand side as well, providing more bodies in attack. Apuya is the centre midfielder. No one's had more touches of the ball than him in the game. That Bengaluru side, though, they've got such quality, technical, proficient players in midfield. Probably want to see Pedro Capo get on the ball. He's had only 16 touches of the ball so far in the game, needs to have a little bit more influence, but I do really think we're set up for an absolute cracker, because I think a 1-goal slender lead in a semi-final is dangerous for both teams.
And so we're off. Mohunbagan in their iconic green and maroon jerseys, Bengaluru in their blue and white. Slowly but surely the stadium is starting to get filled up, and what promises to be an exciting 45 minutes. 45 minutes keeping both these teams away from sealing a spot, of course, and a date with Northeast United come the 31st of this month, contesting for that beautiful trophy of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. It's the second semi-final, coming to you from the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. It's coming live on the Sony Sports Network. And Mohunbagan Super Giant, Bengaluru FC, 2 teams that have vied for top honours in the last 10 years of Indian football, are at it once again. First half, of course, started at breakneck speed from a Bengaluru perspective. Both teams coming at them, lots of gaps. Both teams' attackers exploiting those gaps at the start of that first half. Remains to be seen what sort of a start we see in the second half. Remember, there are no extra time in this competition. So if both the teams are level at the end of 90 minutes, it goes straight into penalties. Mohunbagan Super Giant needed penalties in their quarter-final versus Punjab FC. 2 saves from Vishal Keth in that penalty shootout, thereby effectively sealing their spot in the semis. Apuya now playing in front of that 3-man defence. Him and Thapa, of course, manning the midfield from the center of midfield. Thapa making those runs, known for making those runs as well, late into the box. And while Andy, we saw a lot of Petratos towards the end of that first half, dropping deep, getting onto the ball, effective play. Not so much from Jason Cummings so far.
No, he seems to be the more target man or the out ball for them. You know, a little bit of work out of possession just to close the line off there, but stays relatively high traditionally, and they look to get it up to him when they recycle the ball. Just looks like maybe a slight positional change for Bengaluru FC. I think they are fluid in that front three, but at times Chetri will go more central. Herrera Diaz off the right. Vineth's just going a little bit deeper. He had most touches of the ball for Bengaluru FC in that first half. But just as like they're very fluid in who's going to be that focal point number 9 and who's going to work off them in them wider areas.
Yeah, you saw a glimpse of Greg Stewart there warming up. Their new signing from Mumbai City FC. What an effective signing he's been. What an, of course, an impact he's had in Indian football, Scottish football. He comes in with huge pedigree, part of that Rangers squad as well. Him and Pereira Diaz, when turning out from Mumbai City FC, had 25 goal contributions. Meanwhile, cross put in from that right flank. Roshan gives it back to Suresh Singh Wangjan. Puts in that cross. Shot taken first time by Vineeth Venkatesh. Just unable to keep it on target.
It's a lovely ball in, and we've said they play them fullbacks. Roshan gets really high and wide and can join in with that narrow front three that they play. And Vineeth, he's been really impressive for me. I think he's got loads of energy, drifts inside and can receive the ball. He's always on his toes in the box, and it's actually a really well-struck shot. Just can't keep it down. But it's technically executed really well. Such a difficult ball to take, driven in at speed, at knee height, but just unfortunately leaning slightly back, just can't get over the ball. But a warning sign again for Mohunbagan Supergiants.
Yeah, they started the second half just like they started that first half. Alberto Nogueira within the first 2 minutes had that chance from on top of the box as well. A bit of aji-baji now between Jason Cummings and Roshan. Players getting involved straight away. Referee coming in the middle of it as well. And you get the sense that you'd see a lot more of this as the game gets closer to the 90 minutes. Both players not shy, of course, from putting in a tackle.
Yeah, you've got to manage your emotions. That's one thing you need to do. You can't give themselves an opportunity. As you can see, locking horns there, head to head. A little bit of afters. Referee will dive in and hopefully get control. Neither side can afford to lose the cool, lose the temperament, get emotions spill over such a big occasion.
Yeah, he's looking a little frustrated as Jason Cummings. Hasn't had the best of innings from a Mohunbagan Supergiant perspective. Hasn't been that effective on the ball. And sometimes that frustration creeps into your game. Meanwhile, here come Bengaluru FC. Vineeth Venkatesh with nothing but the open net in front of him. And Vineeth Venkatesh, who's looked so good this entire game, has doubled that lead for Bengaluru FC in this semi-final. 4 minutes into the second half, Vineeth Venkatesh and Bengaluru FC have taken a 2-goal lead versus Mohunbagan Supergiant.
Oh, we just highlighted him literally less than a matter of 2 minutes ago. His attacking threat and how energetic and hard-working he's been out of possession and how good he's looked with the ball. But it's just that come from that moment. Mohunbagan Supergiants lost the cool in their melee. They were disorganised. They didn't get back into shape. Then an individual error at the back just allowed them to walk the ball in as though they're protesting to try and get the offside with the goalkeeper out of position. Really difficult to see where the final touch came from, but no doubting who put it into the back of the net. That man, he's been an attacking threat. He's already had one opportunity in the second half and strokes the ball home to put them 2-0 up.
Yeah, what a night it's turning out to be, that young man for Bengaluru FC. Remember at the other end, Pedro Capo telling Roshan Singh that you make sure that you got your head on your shoulders, don't lose your cool, because this man at the other end has just doubled the lead for Bengaluru FC. As things stand, Bengaluru FC are taking on Northeast United come the final on the 31st of this month. 2 goals in either half, one coming from Sunil Chhetri in the 43rd minute, and then Vineeth Venkatesh getting their second of the night in the 51st minute. Meanwhile, at the other end come Mohunbagan Supergiant. Trying to find Petratos, goes down. Loud cheer asking for that penalty. Referee rightfully placed. Says nothing doing. Play goes on. It's only a matter of time now that you'll see Jose Molina affecting the changes as well. You've got someone like Stewart who's had a good number of seasons in him as far as Indian football is concerned. He's got a sweet, sweet left foot on him as well.
Yeah, seemed to be very little contact in there and very easy to go to ground. Petretos looked like he was already leaning down and falling away from it, but great bit of play. Just did mention Pedro Capo there to say that he's had little influence in the game in terms of touches in the first half, but really impressed with his leadership there, going over to the young fullback, Roshan, and just tell him to keep his head in the game, keep cool, keep organised. And if you're a player coming into Indian football, you need to be a leader. You need to have influence off the pitch as well and make sure that you set an example. And I love the way he's embracing his young fullback and getting the best out of him.
Yeah, both those players involved in that bit of a frustration, of course, from both those players. And Jason Cummings, both have been shown a yellow card by the referee. Play goes on now. Anirudh Thapa, 2 goals now, 2 goals down in this second half. Bengaluru FC, remember, won the Durand Cup in 2022, beat Mumbai City FC in the final in that 2022 edition. Didn't have the best of tournaments last season, lost out in the group stages. As things stand, they're less than 40 minutes away from sealing their spot in the final of this edition of the Durand Cup. Brief stoppage in play. And it looks like Mohunbagan Supergiant are just about to make a double substitution. We're guessing as soon as ball goes out of play, those 2 substitutions will take effect. Miss pass. And it looks like now those 2 substitutions are going to take place. Greg Stewart, one of those players coming in. Their new signings, jersey number 10. And the other one is jersey number 44. Ashish Rai is coming in as well. So Thomas Aldred is coming out. Their stopper back in his place coming in, Ashish Rai. He's going all out. He has no other option as well as Jose Molina. And Sahal is coming out. And in his place comes Greg Stewart. Interesting substitutions as well, because you've gone with that 3-man defense now, and you've got 2 Indian defenders in that 3-man defense. Dipendu Biswas, Ashish Rai, and jersey number 21, Alberto Rodriguez. Ashish Rai as well, known to bomb forward, has that ability in him, but will be occupying the center of the pitch alongside Rodriguez for Mohunbagan Supergiant, but it's the other end of the pitch where they really need to get there. Things moving along, it's down, and a large part of that responsibility will be on the left foot of Greg Stewart. Meanwhile, at the other end comes Alberto Nogueira, calling the shots as far as the midfield. He's had a good game. With Stewart now operating in the middle of the park, will give, of course, the likes of Petratos and Jason Cummings to stay up the pitch. Already 2 goals down. Quickly need to effect 1 goal back from Mohunbagan's perspective. Still enough time left in this game. 56 minutes in. Both the goals coming in either half for Bengaluru FC. Sunil Chhetri getting in that first half. Vineet Venkatesh, their young player, just getting it a while back for Bengaluru FC after a missed pass by Apuya was pounced on by Jose Pereira Diaz. Showed the intelligence and awareness to Vineet Venkatesh, who had nothing but the open net in front of him, to double the lead for Bengaluru FC. On comes Jason Cummings for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Ashish Rai gets his first touch on the ball. Thapa plays it out wide to Liston Colasso. Has space in front of him. Nikhil Pujari just about does enough. Corner for Mohunbagan Supergiant.
Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Attacking threat. Good positive changes made. Sacrificing a defender. Putting the extra bodies in. to the midfield and the strike force, and straight away with them width that they have, the width that they cross, they've obviously got the 1v1 into the wide area, and then unbelievably just able to take the corner really quickly. You can see straight away he weren't able to try and get the first contact and get it goalwards, and it looks like the collision's come at a heavy cost for Bengaluru FC as you watch it come back in again. Taken really quickly before they managed to set up, got a good clean header away. Did the substitute, Dependu, but just not able to get it on target. Gives a chance for Bengaluru FC just to settle down a little bit, slow the game down.
Dependu Biswas, remember, came on in that first half for captain Subhashish Bose. Jumping high above everyone else in that last corner taken by Mohunbagan Supergiant. It's been something you've seen in this entire game. Those set pieces, as soon as you get them, don't waste too much time on it. Quick to take those set pieces from a Mohunbagan Supergiant perspective. It's worked for them on a couple of occasions. Here comes Anil Thapa now. Back to Rodriguez. Greg Stewart now gets his first few touches in this game. Straight away you can see the eagerness to get involved, wants to affect something. Is one of those players that can of course unlock the tightest of defenses. Straight away finds Liston Colosso down the left flank. Here's Petratos, has space, puts it in. Jason Cummings trying to make a run to get at the end of that cross. And on come Mohunbagan Supergiant. There's a bit of life at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. The supporters seem to have found a voice again. Played out to Manveer Singh now. Well defended. Suresh Singh Bangjam just about does enough from giving a corner. And good bit of play by the India International. Gets to Bengaluru FC.
Yes, there's changes that they're going to make here, Bengaluru FC, but you'd have to say that one thing they need to avoid is just to drop deeper and deeper and be a bit negative in the play and be a bit passive into that mid-block and just wait to get picked off. They need to be what they're good at. A good Bengaluru FC side is aggressive, pressing well, trying to get on that ball, as we see the changes make now to just try and get a bit of impetus back in the game. They've lost the way a little bit since that second goal, and you'd have to say Mohunbagan Supergiants, with the change that they've made and have had a positive impact.
Yes, Jorge Pereira Diaz and Sunil Chhetri are being taken off. Jersey number 17, Mendez, is coming on for Bengaluru FC. Chhetri has done his job. Opened the scoring for Bengaluru FC, getting his 6th goal versus Mohunbagan Supergiant. In his place now comes young Shivaldo Singh, who started the last game. And clearly you can see he's trying to refresh his attack up front from a Bengaluru FC perspective. What's happening at the other end? Gurpreet Singh Sandhu making a complete jumble of that kick, and Greg Stewart had nothing but the empty net in front of him, only to miss from 6 yards out with his head.
Oh, incredible, isn't it? Just building up from the back. We've seen it time and time again, week in, week out with football. It can obviously cause teams problems. And if you want anyone in that team from 6 yards out to have a free header, it'll be the substitute Greg Stewart, and he'll be absolutely disappointed with himself for not being able to get that on target. That was the lifeline that they needed. That was the lifeline that they wanted when the substitution was made, and I cannot believe that he's not been able to direct that onto goal.
Don't think even he can understand how he missed from that close range. Nonetheless, Mohunbagan Supergiant keep on threatening now. Bouncing on that, of course, mishit by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, missing from 6 yards out. Liston Colosso has gone down in the box. Greg Stewart not happy. Referee says nothing doing. Seems like he has a good game. He's looked assured of himself, the decisions he's taken.
Yeah, I don't think it's for that. I think it's for a foul earlier up in the build-up, but there's nothing going on here, and obviously it was played off Liston. Glaccio just goes out for the goal kick, but they've got to decide what they're doing now, Bengaluru FC. Why build up from the back when there's such pressure on them? and make the mistake. Might be an opportunity to squeeze up and in and play a little bit more direct and just try and relieve the pressure a little bit that they've created themselves.
Meanwhile, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu has been shown a yellow card for time wasting by the referee. So it's all happening here at the Yuva Bharati Kridan, and as you expect, it's competition time. As things stand, Bengaluru FC is making its way into the final of the Durand Cup. 2 goals coming in either half. Mohunbagan Supergiant have definitely had their chances, hit the woodwork on 2 occasions in the first half, and then Greg Stewart missing from 6 yards out with his head just a few moments back. Ashish Rai now finds Jason Cummings. Seem to have a bit of purpose now, a bit of bounce as far as their attack is concerned. Ashish Rai asking for that ball back, gets it back by Cummings. Puts it in, finds Stewart. Stewart takes the shot. Petratos puts the ball in. All the big boys in for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Back to Liston Colasso. Lobs it high, tries to find Petratos. Plays it back to Colasso. Apuya. On to Stewart. Stewart finds Ashish Rai. Puts that ball in, finds Cummins. Unable to control it with that first touch. Danger still not averted for Bengaluru FC as Mohunbagan Supergiant keep on coming at them. Here comes Liston. It's been a good bit of play from Mohunbagan Supergiant. It's been a good spell for the Kolkata team. The only thing missing is, of course, the back of the net. Meanwhile, at the other end, here's Vineet Venkatesh. Liston. Here's in front of him. Numbers behind, of course, for Bengaluru FC. Remember, winners in the 2022 edition of the Durand Cup. Now Liston puts in a good ball. There's a good ball. Manveer Singh is there. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu just about doing enough.
Yeah, after following that error, it's confidence for Gurpreet Singh to come out and try and get a hand on that just to make sure that he can redirect it. I think there's going to be further balls coming in for him to deal with as well later stage of these games with the attacking play Mohunbagan Supergiants have.
Kind of get the sense that the game is for the remainder of this 25 minutes, and you said it right, Andy, that the only worry from a Bengaluru FC perspective is that you don't want them to sit too deep in this game. Remember, 25 minutes is still a long time in this game. If in front of you is a team with this quality like Mohunbagan Supergiant possesses, eventually it's about finding that opening, that one goal that could then, of course, change things around in this game for the defending champions. Back to Liston. Greg Stewart makes a run for that. Ably defended as well. They've looked confident, they've looked mature at the back for Bengaluru FC.
They have, haven't they? They've started to just drop down a little bit deeper now and causing a few issues. You'd say Mohunbagan Supergiants are the team that are in the ascendancy at the moment, but they've just got to be careful. One more mistake for them and the game's over. But they've got to start risking a little bit more up top and getting more balls into the box, getting around it a little bit more.
We can get confirmation that in a while from now, 2 more changes will be made by Bengaluru FC and Gerard Zaragoza. Meanwhile, at the other end, Manveer Singh goes down so easily. Referee replace says penalty for Mohunbagan Supergiant. The defenders of Bengaluru FC not happy with that decision whatsoever. Applause coming in from the Mohunbagan Supergiant dugout. Gerard Zaragoza cannot believe that decision has gone against his team. Nevertheless, Mohunbagan Supergiant have been handed a lifeline to come back in this semi-final.
Oh, if you think they've had a free header from 6 yards out as well in the last 5 minutes, and now they get the chance with the penalty, pulling the shirt back. Spotted either straight away by the referee. It's a clear grab of the shirt. It's reckless. Gives the referee a decision to make. All the assistant on the far side, and he's clearly seen the shirt pull and alerted the referee to what's happened. We've had an opportunity for 2-1 just a few moments ago, but this is a bigger one now. These are big moments in the game. Get yourself back in it. You're in the ascendancy, 2-1 with all the momentum.
Petratos, of course, will be given the responsibility to bring that goal back, cut down that lead to 1 goal for Bengaluru FC. 2 changes being affected by coach Gerard Zaragoza. Meanwhile, Fanai, of course, coming in for Alberto Noguera, Halichar Nasri coming in for Vineet Venkatesh. So he's freshened up that attack from a Bengaluru FC perspective. He knows Mohunbagan Supergiant are going to be coming at them because, of course, they're 2 goals down, giving them options with those fresh legs to exploit the space left behind by Mohunbagan Supergiant. He's had a good game. Vineet Venkatesh got the 2nd goal for Bengaluru FC. Halichar Nasri, another of those players coming in. Meanwhile, at the other end now, the onus is on Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. The onus is on Petratos, who's going to bet the better of each other. He's got a number of goals for Mohunbagan Supergiants, Dimitrios Petratos. But in front of him is, of course, the Indian national team keeper, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. And he makes no whatsoever. Dimitri Petratos, in the 69th minute of this game, has pulled 1 goal back for Mohunbagan Supergiant. And you just get the sense that there's more to come in this game. The crowd is up on its feet. The Mariners are charging. They're cheering in full force for the Mohunbagan Supergiant faithful.
Yeah, cool, calm customer, wasn't he? He was prepared, he was ready, he executed his plan, didn't change his mind, straight down the middle. Takes guts to do that, knowing that if the keeper doesn't move, Gurpreet Singh, if he stands still, you could look foolish, but they're straight back on the attack again.
Yeah, you get the feeling we're in for a grandstand finish now. Manveer Singh at the end of that cross again. 25 minutes remaining of this regulation time, and you don't want to go anywhere. Stop whatever it is that you're doing, because you're going to see 25 minutes of some end-to-end football. On the line, a place in the final of the Durand Cup. Jason Cummings putting that ball in, or rather it was Greg Stewart, who ever since he's come into the game, Andy, has made a positive impact.
Real influence, he's got on the ball lots, made lots of passes, got into the final third, he's put passes in for, obviously, the 2 strikers. Cummings probably been less effective in there, but Petratos has obviously had the opportunities. He's been a constant thorn in the side throughout the game and got his reward with the goal. But yeah, they've looked a changed side.
Meanwhile, another yellow card has been dished out. This one to Rahul Bheke of Bengaluru FC. So the cards are coming out thick and fast. Substitutions have been made as well. Remember, a total of 4 changes in that attack line of a Bengaluru FC affected by Gerard Zaragoza, Fanai, Halichar Nasri, Mendez and Shivaldo, the new players on the pitch. Mohunbagan Supergiant, meanwhile, on the ascendancy. This man keeps ascendancy as well, always being on the ball. The architect will be hoping to open up spaces. Dimitri Petratos, he's got a good goal-scoring record versus Bengaluru FC. That goal from the spot, his 5th versus Bengaluru FC. It's the first goal in the Durand Cup. Surprisingly, first goal in this edition's Durand Cup for Petratos. But the job is not yet done. Beautiful ball put in again. Petratos there at the end of it. Rightfully being applauded by their coach, Jose Molina.
Yeah, and you have to say they look the more threatening side. The big gamble that Bengaluru FC, they've taken off some of the bigger hitters. They've put maybe some more fresh legs but defensive-minded players on, and that's changed their mentality. They're a lot more vulnerable. There's a lot more holes in the side. They're retreating back to their own goal very quick. As you can see, a lot of the players gesturing just to calm things down, slow things down, try and take the momentum out of the game.
I have to say, of course, as we're talking about Greg Stewart and the impact that he's made from a Mohunbagan Supergiant perspective, how about this man who's on the ball? Ashish Rai brought in to shore up the defense, not else. But also, of course, gives you that option going in front down that right flank, has made a positive impact on the field. Meanwhile, at the other end, brings down Halichar Nasri. A host of India internationals out on the field tonight. The very best of Indian football out on the field tonight. Two teams who are going to be vying for top honours in whichever competition they play. Both the new players in, Shivaldo and Holicharan Nazri. Nazri puts it in with his left foot, beautifully taken there. Header taken by Mendes, but equally well done by Vishal Keth. Danger still not averted. Finally put out of play by Mohunbagan supergiant.
Yeah, lovely well-timed header from Mendes there. Obviously, he's making his impact from the bench. He's just risen above his man, got in between the lines. Out-swinging delivery, got his touch on. Really instinctive save. Vishal Keth, brilliant, straight up as well, ready to get the second ball. Impressive stop, you'd have to say, a metre either side, and it might have been a different story, but it's a well-executed save, pushed it away from trouble. But an opportunity for Bengaluru FC there to put the game potentially one goal better, but also potentially out of sight.
Less than 20 minutes remaining of regulation time. This game is amped up as far as levels are concerned. Rodriguez there, getting a bit of Holicharan Nazri and the ball in the process. Bit of spice as well in this game. You saw a while back Cummings and Roshan clashing with each other. And now come Mohunbagan supergiant. Acres of space in front of Liston Colasso. Players inside the box, puts in that ball. No one attacking in that ball. It was a delicious ball put in by Liston Colasso. And you can understand that reaction by their coach, Jose Molina.
Yeah, and the reaction of the players in the box said it all, because there was no one to blame but themselves. It's a wonderful ball in between the deepest defender and the goalkeeper, just teasing it in there, just invited to be in. And somebody's got to gamble. Someone's got to make that run off the back of the defender, the deepest defender in there. Liston Colasso again, just brilliant to get inside. Nice wide area, drives inside, and it's not the first time he's put a really good ball into the box.
They seem to have moved up a few gears now. Mohunbagan supergiant. Anil Thapa now dropping deep. Apuya in front of him. Ashish Rayas, of course, has had a positive impact down that right flank for Mohunbagan supergiant. Liston Colasso, as always, has had acres of space down the left. Tries to get past Shivaldo Singh. Unable to do so. Fanai now trying to get the better of Apuya. Falls back to him. Here's Thapa now. Shifts play down to the right flank. On to Manveer Singh. Petratos dropping deep as he always does. Dipendu Biswas. It's been a good game of football to watch. Cup competition at its very best. Bengaluru FC taking a 2-0 lead. Within the 55th minute of this game, 2 goals coming in from Sunil Chhetri and Vineet Venkatesh. But then Mohunbagan supergiant pulled one back, showing intent, showing purpose, courtesy Petratos off the spot. And as things stand, 15 minutes of regulation time remaining, and a spot in the final of the Durand Cup, North East United awaiting the winner of this side. Ashish Rai on that occasion again putting a number of those balls in. And you can see the kind of width or the space that's been on offer as far as the right and the left flank of both for Mohunbagan supergiant, Colasso or Ashish Rai. What are you expecting now, Andy? Last 15 minutes of regulation time. A bit more of Bengaluru FC dropping deep. You've got a number of those fresh players up front. Mohunbagan supergiant will just keep on knocking on that door.
Bengaluru FC, I'd expect that they need to press the ball a little bit higher, but while they're doing that with that front four that they've got up higher up the pitch, they need to squeeze the back line up and in and get a lot higher up the pitch, make sure the compact, reduce the space between lines and stop Mohunbagan supergiants being able to play into the midfield and out to the wide areas and get the balls in, whether it's with Ashish Rai or Liston Colasso on that side. They've got to defend them areas better, but for me, they've got to stop it at source. You've got to put pressure on the ball early and higher up the pitch and try and regain the ball high, as Mohunbagan supergiants obviously have to risk a little bit more to try and get the ball higher up the pitch. So I'd expect more of the same over the next period now, next 20 minutes or 15 minutes plus added time. But Mohunbagan Super Giants, they're onto something. They can sniff a chance to get themselves back in this game. They've had the opportunities. The momentum's with them. But for a Bengaluru FC side who really want to see this game out, they've just got to make sure they're not too negative.
Yeah, another change. This one being the fifth and final change, being affected by coach Gerard Zaragoza. Suresh Singh Wangjam is being taken out, and in his place is Chinglin Sana Singh. So that move, telling you exactly what he has in his mind. Shore up his defense, close out this remaining 15 minutes of the game, and make sure you make it into the final of the competition. Remember, this is the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, powered by Coal India, jointly organized by the Indian Armed Forces and the government of West Bengal. Played long by Sandhu. Cleared by Biswas. Apuya has two players around him. Back to Manveer Singh. On to the Bendu Biswas now. And straight away you can see Bengaluru FC that we were talking about, not falling that deep, moving a lot higher up the pitch to win the ball back from Mohunbagan. Successful on that occasion now. Mendes on the ball. Back to Mendes. The new players combining. Mendes yet again. Is he going to get at the end of it? Just gets away from him. A good bit of play from Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, and look for another change now. The man who I just credited, Puya, has been really impressed with him today. I think his race is run. Physically, he looked shot over the last 5 or 7 minutes. But I think he's been one of the more impressive players. He keeps everything ticking in that midfield. He's always screening and scanning, trying to get on the ball and link play and get things forward. But his race is run from today, and obviously some fresh legs and impetus to try and get that goal back.
Yeah, Abhishek Suryavanshi has come in his place. Still has another change up his sleeve, does Coach Molina of Mohunbagan Super Giant. He's had a good game as Apuya. Will be playing no further part in this game. Big money signing from Mumbai City FC. You can hope to see a lot more of him come this season of Indian football. It's just the start. It's the season opener. It's the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, a tournament that started way back in 1888. And the team that's out there on the pitch, in the maroon and green, has played the maximum finals in this competition 29 times, winning that trophy 17 times in the process. In front of them in the blue and white, a team that won it in 2022, hoping to win their second Durand Cup title in the process, not too far away from it. Waiting for them, of course, will be first-timers Northeast United. That final will be played out at this very ground on the 31st of this month. The game will be live and exclusive on the Sony Sports Network. Petratos. First few touches for the new man, Abhishek. Tries to give it with his outside of his foot, just not enough in it. Ends up losing possession. Shivaldo Singh. Back with Petratos now. Finds Ashish Rai. They need to get a move on. 10 minutes remaining. Finds Liston Colasso again. Unable to keep that ball in. Poor first touch. A reprieve for Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, most goals in footballs come from either a series of errors by sides or a bit of individual brilliance, but you'd have to say it's been individual errors in certain moments of the game that have cost the teams tonight in terms of the goals conceded. And as teams start to fade, as the teams start to tired bodies and minds, is there another mistake in this that can cause it to go deep into the wire for the goal and a big prize, obviously a place of the final at stake.
They've been in this position before, have Mohunbagan Supergiant. In the 132nd edition in the semi-final versus FC Goa, were down, of course, by a goal to FC Goa in that first half, only to win that game 2-1, making their way to the final, beating Imami East Bengal en route to the title. They don't have too much time this time, 9 minutes of regulation time remaining. Ashish Rai puts in a ball. Deflection takes it straight into the hands of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. That delivery will have to be a lot better. Frustration across the Mohunbagan Supergiant attackers because you had numbers in the box to attack and pounce on that delivery.
Yeah, for Mohunbagan Supergiant, sorry, they know it's just one moment in the game. They've got to keep believing. They've got to keep getting the ball into Bengaluru FC's half, drop them low, try and get the ball in wide areas, get some shots off. But they've got to keep believing. They know they've done it before. They've obviously had such a strong tournament and passage into this semi-final. Numerous clean sheets as well, and scoring big victories and numerous amounts of goals. So they'll be full of confidence. They've just got to execute now in that final third and deliver on the big stage when it matters most.
Back to Alberto Rodriguez. On to Ashish Rai now. It's all Mohunbagan Supergiant. All Bengaluru FC players in their own half, trying to make sure they give them no space whatsoever. Abhishek with his first few touches, missed pass on that occasion. Roshan Singh, he's had a good game for Bengaluru FC. Eventually that ball finds its way to Mendes, just not able to keep it in play. Throw into Mohunbagan Supergiant. Back to young Abhishek Suryavanshi. Part of their age group teams, part of their B team, puts in a lovely ball to find Liston Colasso, has space down that left flank. Nikhil Pujari around him, puts in the ball first time, but what a tackle. What a last minute diving tackle from Jovanovic to make sure that Bengaluru FC are in the lead in this game.
Oh, it's a great tackle. Jovanovic, he defends his box really well. Checks his shoulder first to see where the runners are, adjusts his body and just able to get in front of the man.
Now another shot taken from far. What a shot! How about that? Anirudh Thapa with one of the goals of the tournament. Anirudh Thapa drawing Mohunbagan Supergiant level with 7 minutes remaining in this game. The Yuva Bharati Kridangan in Kolkata has erupted. That's a goal worthy anywhere. That's a goal worthy that can be hit anywhere in the world. What a cracker. What a strike. 2-2. What a game we have in our hands.
Yeah, Anirudh Thapa, it's a brilliant strike. The first ball's headed clear. We talked about having them edge men on the edge of the box in the first half of the corners, and that's exactly why they're there. They can help the ball back in, or if you've got the technical ability like Anirudh Thapa have, you can send it goal bound. Might have got a couple of deflections on the way, but he won't be bothered one bit. It's brilliant from him. We have to say, Bengaluru FC, they've dropped deeper and deeper. They've got more passive in this last 25 minutes, half an hour of the game. And Mohunbagan Supergiants have capitalised on that. They've been a constant attacking threat and got themselves into the game.
What a goal that was. That was just a brilliant, brilliant strike. Sweetly hit by Anirudh Thapa. And on come Mohunbagan Supergiant yet again, after being 2 goals down in this game, have made it 2-2 with 5 minutes remaining in this half. And who's to bet that they can't find a winner in these last 5 minutes? It's been all Mohunbagan Supergiants in these last 10-15 minutes of the game. On to Petratos now. Cummings inside, waiting for that delivery. Stewart, twisting and turning. Back to Liston Colasso. It's one of those goals you can see again and again. Just see them again and again, how sweetly it was hit. And the number of bodies that it made way past. Rightfully erupting the Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata. Drawing Mohunbagan Supergiants on level terms as far as the semi-final is concerned. Don't go anywhere. Because if the game remains at 2 apiece, we're going into penalty shootouts to decide the finalists.
Yeah, and then you have to look at who's left on the pitch. Big decisions have been made by them head coaches on the sideline, and a lot of the big penalty takers, players you'd put your hat on, have already left the field of play, so there'll be opportunities for others, but there still might be plenty of opportunities left in this game yet, with 3.5 minutes to go plus additional time.
That will definitely go down as one of the goals of the tournament. Not just for the way it was hit and just from the distance at which it was struck, but just the fact that it brought Mohunbagan Supergiant level on terms as far as the semi-final was concerned. 6 minutes remaining on the clock. And to bring your team leveling on terms in a crucial semi-finals. Now the defending champions are on. The defending champions are playing with a bounce. The defending champions are going for goal number 3. Greg Stewart this time.
Well, you only have to look at the two attacks in the last minute and the difference between the two sides. Mendes is up in the box on his own, puts the ball across the box and there's nobody in there and he's gesturing, you know, no support. Where's my teammates around me? Yet the ball goes up to the other end. Mohunbagan Supergiants have got 4 bodies around in the box. Greg Stewart on the edge of the box with a shooting chance as well. So one team really pushing for it, the other just hanging on after being so dominant in the game as well and looking like they were home and hosed and ready to go. Now on the back foot, and it's been all Mohunbagan Supergiants in the second half.
And now how about that for a ball to find Jason Cummings? Anirudh Thapa is on now. Cummings needs to get the better of Roshan Singh. In front of him for company, tries to put the ball in. A number of Bengaluru FC players in their own box as well. Always going to be a tough ask to find a Mohunbagan Supergiant player. But it's the space that they're finding on the wings on either side, whether it be Liston Colasso or Jason Cummings, is something Bengaluru FC need to be wary of. Petratos, back to Greg Stewart now. Has space for the shot. Is he going to go for the shot? Goes for the shot. Crashes it straight into the legs of Pedro Capo. Meanwhile now, Dipendu Biswas is also trying to get in on the act. Tries to go long this time. And they keep coming at them. 1 minute of regulation time remaining. This game is coming to you on the Sony Sports Network. A semi-final 2 of the Durand Cup. Remember, it was Northeast United that got the better of Shillong Lajong Football Club in semi-final number 1. 3-0 winners on the night. Awaiting the winners of this game, and that final will take place on the 31st of this month at this very stadium. Coach Jose Molina is a happy man. They've assembled a star-studded unit for this season of Indian football. And while Bengaluru FC have had their moments, Mohunbagan Supergiant have, of course, got themselves back not by 1 goal but 2 goals to level things up in this game. Kind of takes you back to that ISL Cup final in 2022-23. Mohunbagan Supergiant and Bengaluru FC both were 2-2 at the end of regulation time. Chetri scoring in that game for Bengaluru FC. That game went down to penalties, and Mohunbagan Supergiant winning that night on penalties 4-3.
Yeah, closing stages of the game here, you'd have to say. Jovanovic, obviously centre-back for Bengaluru FC. Probably key part to play now with all them balls raining into the box to defend. He's going to be critical. He's going to be crucial in these closing moments. Balls getting sprayed in from both wings, from shots from distance. He's going to have to put his body on his line in that area, as the referee indicates. 5 additional minutes.
5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes is a long time in football, especially the momentum that Mohunbagan Supergiant have got going in their favour. Will surely want to take an attempt or two in these 5 minutes, and who's to bet against them doing so, because they've had all the momentum in these last 30-35 minutes of this game. Ended the first half really strongly as well after going down to that Sunil Chetri goal, hitting the post on 2 occasions at the end of that first half. And then you thought Vineeth Venkatesh has doubled that lead and maybe it's curtains for Mohunbagan Supergiant, but it wasn't to be. They kept on coming. You've got to laud, of course, their enthusiasm and their never-say-die attitude. Got back in the game courtesy of penalty. Manveer Singh brought down in the box. Dimitri Petratos making no mistake whatsoever from the penalty spot. And then to level things up at 2-2, Anirudh Thapa with the goal of the tournament, no doubt, bringing Mohunbagan Supergiant back in this game. Here comes Greg Stewart now, goes long. Jason Cummings making that run. Has 2 defenders for company. It's been all Mohunbagan Supergiant. Bengaluru FC need to exercise a bit of control in the dying stages of this game. The Bengaluru FC bench not happy with that challenge coming in from the Pendu. Yellow card also shown in the process. Remember, came on in the first half for captain Subhashish Bose, who picked up a knee injury. Meanwhile, Shivaldo Singh has gone down, clutching his right foot.
Yeah, substitute Shivaldo Singh there looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Obviously, potentially at 2-1 up, you'd see it as an opportunity just to kill the time, kill the clock and wind the clock down. But now at 2-2, it's hugely important. The minds start wandering towards penalties, or is there a final twist in this unbelievable semi-final for both sides? A one team trying to take it to penalties, a one team looking for the winner.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful watch, no doubt about it. No matter which team you're supporting, if you're a neutral nonetheless, it's been a wonderful advertisement for Indian football. Both these teams have had their moments in this game. Both these teams have exercised enough control in this game, and we still can't decide who's going to walk away as the winner from this game. We're into 5 minutes of added time, 2 minutes of added time already done. That challenge, of course, by Dipendu Biswas, earning him a yellow card by the referee as well. Remember, Mohunbagan Supergiant took part in a penalty shootout in their quarter-final versus Punjab FC. Vishal Kaith, the hero in the night, effecting 2 changes, 2 saves, in the process. And maybe now he's going to be called up yet again, not too far away from it. 4th minute of added time in front of us. Last-ditch effort by Bengaluru FC. Ball put in, it's a good one. Tries to find Mendes, heads it back. Now to Pedro. Here's Hollycharan. Has space for the shot. Thought about taking that shot. Probably was a little too far away from him. Back to Pedro. Feeble pass. And trying to find Hollycharan Nazri. Just a minute remaining now in added time. Not too far away from penalty shootouts. Yet another penalty shootout for Mohunbagan Supergiant. They won't be complaining as long as they make it to the final. As long as they can make it 2 in a row as far as the Durand Cup is concerned. "17-time winners of this competition will be hoping to make it number 18. And who's to bet against them? They've got the momentum for them. Well, meanwhile, Bengaluru FC come at the other end. Hollycharan Nazri gets a corner. Asking for that corner. Not happy with that decision from the linesman. Goal kick to Mohunbagan Supergiant.
Yeah, and as always, when you get to this stage of the game with such little time left, you just think of both teams short of energy and ideas and just maybe thinking towards what's next. The big moment of penalties, the dreaded way to end any competition. But such a big prize at stake here. It looks like with such limited additional time, that slight blood injury that we've just seen, there might be an extra minute, but after that, it'll be down to important penalty kicks now.
Any moment now, the referee should be pointing to a penalty shootout. Not too far away from it. Last attack, you'd have to say, from Mohunbagan Supergiant's perspective. Greg Stewart on the ball. You'd want their goal scorers to be in and around the box. Still in search of that 3rd goal that will give them, of course, the route to the final. And now Petratos makes his way in towards the box. Stewart puts it in. Rodriguez the target. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu reading it well, coming off the line. And there you have it. At the end of 90 minutes, Mohunbagan Supergiant and Bengaluru FC have ended this game at 2 apiece, which means semi-final number 2 of the Durand Cup is going into a penalty shootout. A 2nd successive penalty shootout for Mohunbagan Supergiant. 2-0 down within the 55th minute of the game, but then came back courtesy some impressive play as far as their attack was concerned. Dimitri Petratos getting that penalty in the 69th minute, and then Anirudh Thapa with the goals of the tournament in the 85th minute. A long-range effort meant that this game is going into a penalty shootout.
Oh, what an incredible game. Incredible stage for it to be played on, and a big prize waiting at the end. Indian Oil, 133rd edition of the Durand Cup, the final at stake. We've had ebbs and flows in this game. We've had complete dominance at one stage from a Bengaluru FC side that were really creative, free-flowing at one point, pegged back by a Mohunbagan Supergiant side who just never say die attitude, carried them through. They got the equaliser and they finished the game the strongest. The momentum with them, but who knows with penalties? It's about clear eyes, putting your hands up. Who wants to take them penalties? Putting your name out up there on the board to take one. Making your decision which way you're going to go, sticking to your instruction, then executing your best technical penalty you can.
Yeah, remember Bengaluru FC have already affected those 5 changes. So the likes of Noguera, there's no Pereira Diaz, there's no Sunil Chhetri, there's no Suresh Singh Wangjam to come taking those penalties for you. Which means now the onus is on the likes of Rahul Bheke. There's Jovanovic there as far as their experience is concerned. Roshan Singh would be one of those penalty takers as well. You've got Sana, Fanai, Holicharan, Nazari, Mendes. Who does he choose to take those penalties? Because as far as Mohunbagan is concerned, you've got a host of players to choose from, experienced players to choose from. Petratos is on the field, Greg Stewart is there, Jason Cummings is there, Thapa, Abhishek, Manveer. So you've got a number of experienced players who've been in these situations in the past to go out there and step up on the line and take those penalties for your team. Make sure you make it to the final of the Durand Cup. Add to that, you've got the experience and of course the momentum that Vishal Kath is carrying after the heroics that he showed versus Punjab FC in the quarter-final before this. It's been a wonderful, wonderful advertisement for Indian football. It's been a brilliant game of football between two top sides of Indian football. Both have had their moments in this game. Yes, Mohunbagan Supergiant have definitely ended the game a lot better than Bengaluru FC, but take nothing away from them, who started the game in much better fashion than the green and maroon. Rightfully 2-0 winners, or rather 2-0 lead in the 55th minute, but then after that it was all Mohunbagan Supergiants. A couple of their players, of course, Ryan Williams, a handy player down that wing, will not be playing any part in this game. Watching on from the sidelines alongside Darren Caldera. It's a game of nerves now. It's a test of nerves now. It's a test of experience now. It's a test of not letting the occasion get the better of you now. It's the penalty shootout. The penalty shootout to decide who joins Northeast United in the finals of the Durand Cup. Both the captains are out there with the referee, Petratos and Rahul Bheke, to decide who takes that first kick. And a couple of versions, of course, Andy. Lots of people have different ways of going for it. You send your best players in front to give you that deserved lead. Some like keeping your best penalty kicks or takers towards the end of that 5.
Yeah, I always think get your best takers on first, because you never know how long the penalty shootout's going to go to in terms of the big moment. So try and get one up, get your lead, and you've got something to hold on to and give your keeper the freedom to try and get some saves. Interesting part will be a Bengaluru FC side who have obviously done their homework on Mohunbagan Supergiants penalty takers from the previous round, and see how many of them are going to step up. But obviously these players, these goalkeepers know each other's games so well. How well rehearsed are they? How much analysis have they got in terms of the trends of where the players go? These will have taken so many penalties in Indian football now. But do you stick to your guns? Do you change your mind? Do you have your process that you go through?
Yeah, much like you see, whenever that penalty kick, of course, or the penalty shooter is about to start, a bit of a conversation now between the official, the 4th officials, and the dugout of Mohunbagan Supergiant, Jose Molina there, talking to the 4th official. Petratos alongside his coach as well, now the main official. The referee has come into that conversation as well. I'm guessing they're talking about who takes that kick first. Still a bit of confusion around that. Both the keepers, it's good to see. Of course, both these keepers know each other really well, have been around Indian football for a long time. And yet again, it'll fall on their shoulders to decide who helps their team in making that journey into the final of the Durand Cup. It's been a wonderful tournament. It's been a wonderful tournament played across 3 different locations. The final will be played in this very ground as well. Still a bit of confusion now. And I'm guessing that confusion carrying on. The referee deciding. Talking to both the goalkeepers. It's always good to take a little more time if there's a bit of confusion out on the field, so that you make that right decision eventually, because there is so much on the line. It is such a high pressure game. Plus at stake is a spot in the final, a spot to earn another silverware as far as your team is concerned. Will be interesting to see the 5 that Bengaluru FC would have chosen. The 5 designated penalty kickers. A bit more obvious from a Mohunbagan super giant perspective. And it looks like Mohunbagan super giant will be taking the first penalty in this penalty shootout, and the responsibility will be falling onto the shoulders of Jason Cummings. An experienced campaigner in his 2nd season with the club. Had a good first season, scoring 12 goals in the ISL. Knows a thing or two about finding the back of the net wherever he's played. He's had a long career. In front of him is Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. It's the first penalty kick. It's the first penalty kick. The penalty shootout is just about to begin. Jason Cummings versus Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Easy. Easy does it. Jason Cummings putting that first penalty in. Mohunbagan super giant getting their first penalty of this penalty shootout.
Yeah, measured, calm approach by Jason Cummings. Left foot just opens it up. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, but nice. Controlled start. Not trying to blast it into the back of the net, but just making sure he executes his penalty the way that he'd practiced.
Now walking to the spot is Mendes. Understandably, good decision taken by Bengaluru FC, sending one of their experienced campaigners first up to take the first spot kick for Bengaluru FC. In front of him, a man who saved 2 spot kicks versus Punjab FC in the quarterfinals, so he's full of confidence, full of momentum. Vishal Keth has had a good game as well. Mendes versus Vishal Keth. Easy goings, easy doing. Yet again, cool, calm, composed from Mendes. It's 1 apiece in this penalty shootout.
Yeah, mind game started. Vishal Keth there, fresh off the 2 saves, as you mentioned. Gesturing, giving him some indication where he thinks he's going to go, and he actually went the side that he predicted. But a well-worked penalty. First contact was into that side netting, which is always a good sign.
Up steps Manveer Singh now. It's the 2nd penalty, Mohunbagan super giant. Into the top corner. Into the top corner. No problem whatsoever. 2-1 to Mohunbagan super giant. Manveer Singh buries it from the spot.
Yeah, different to Cummings' penalty. He just went for pace and power right into the roof of the net. Absolutely no chance. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, as you mentioned, national team goalkeeper, all the qualities in the world, but I don't think anyone's going to get to that one. Such a brilliant strike right into the roof of the net. Puts them 2-1 up, obviously, with Bengaluru FC with 1 to play.
Who's come on to take it? It's an experienced man. Rahul Bheke has come on. Back with Bengaluru FC in his 2nd stint. Vishal Keth moving around as much as he can. No problem whatsoever. Experience all over that penalty. So far, both the teams have converted their penalties 2 apiece.
Yeah, different styles of doing it, but end result, you'd have to say brilliant penalties so far. This one, keeper guesses the right way, but just raises it a little bit higher from that hand that he's just trailing up to try and see if he can get a touch as well. But as we say, on par, 2-2 at the moment.
Now the onus is on Liston Colasso. He's been in this situation in the past as well. Puts it in. No problem whatsoever. Smashes it into the top right corner. Rightfully applauded by his coach Jose Molina. It's been a 100% record for Mohunbagan Supergiants so far.
Yeah, he's a player full of confidence, isn't he? Absolutely no waiting around, no messing around with that routine. Just executes, know where he wants to go. Got the technical ability to deliver. Puts his side 3-2 up.
On comes Pedro Capo. Pedro Capo, composed, cool, calm in the middle. Looking to get that third penalty for Bengaluru FC. No mistake whatsoever. It's been that sort of a penalty shootout. Whoever stepped up to take the penalties for either sides has put out an impressive finish.
Yeah, he's been a leader on the pitch. He's been set a good example. Probably a little bit of a quieter second half than he wanted, but marshals the troop well. Good influence to the players, gets his penalty away. Can go back, rally the troops, make sure they're ready for the next one that comes their way.
Here comes Petratos. Already got one goal from the spot. Petratos! No problem. Smashing it. Smashes it down to the left corner. Another good penalty for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Fourth penalty now converted for Mohunbagan.
Yeah, 4 from 4. Already had one in the game, as you said. Chose a slightly different technique this time. Took it the other side. Same result, back of the net. 4 from 4. Bengaluru FC, 3 from 3.
Well, yes, this man knows a thing or two as far as experience is concerned. Holicharan Nazri has been around Indian football. Jersey number 19. He misses it. He misses it. Vishal Kaith makes yet another save for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Hear that roar. He knows this occasion and he's risen to that occasion once again.
Yeah, wonderful technique. Springs, make sure he doesn't leave his line too early, which can always be the temptation for goalkeepers. Athletic, he's obviously had the success and he's got all the confidence in the world from the last round, from the quarter-final. Puts his team in the advantage, 4-3 up.
Greg Stewart now. If he converts this, Mohunbagan Supergiant are moving into the final of the Durand Cup. Who would bet against him? In front of him, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. What's in store for us? Oh, he makes a save. What a save! Brilliant save by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Diving to his right, keeping Bengaluru FC in the contest.
Big moment, big goalkeeper, incredible. Almost seemed to wait to make the decision of where it was going to go, and then he could spring. Big, massive hand on it. Normally with the power of them, it might still redirect and go into the goal, but it's such a good save. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu just able to push it wide.
Wonderful, wonderful save made by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, using that long frame of his. And now comes Jovanovic. He misses it again. He misses it again. Vishal Kaith, the hero, yet again. The second save on the night. The second save on the night means Mohunbagan Supergiant are travelling to the final of the Durand Cup yet again. A penalty shootout, ensuring that Mohunbagan Supergiant are on the line. And it's that man yet again, Vishal Kaith, making 2 saves in the penalty shootout. Bengaluru FC missing from the spot. Jose Molina's teams continues their journey in the Durand Cup. The defending champions march on to the final of the Durand Cup.
Yeah, it's absolute heartbreak for Bengaluru FC. They had the ascendancy in the game, they had all the momentum. But it's Mohunbagan Supergiants, the one who are celebrating tonight. It's that man again with 2 penalty saves, big moments. He came up with the goods and puts inside into another major tournament trophy final. He'll be ready, and they'll be there ready for the next round, ready to go toe-to-toe again with North East United. What a hero.
Yeah, what a performance by Vishal Keth, rightfully embraced there by Greg Stewart. Here's a look at that penalty. Again, making that right decision. That ball was getting a little away from him, but that right hand of his, that trailing right hand, just about doing enough, strong right hand, getting the second save for his side in this penalty shootout. It's 2 saves versus Punjab FC in the quarterfinals and 2 in the semi-finals versus Bengaluru FC. What a star this man is. He's been around Indian football for a long time. And what about Mohunbagan Super Giant, the defending champions, still on course to win their 2nd consecutive Durand Cup? The Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata has erupted because 2-0 down within the 55th minute to Bengaluru FC. Mohunbagan Super Giant ensured that they did not give up, and the fight back continued. That fight back started courtesy Dimitri Petratos getting 1 goal back from the spot, and then Anirudh Thapa scoring one of the goals in the tournament with 5 minutes remaining in this game, making sure the game went into penalty shootouts. And then started the Vishal Keth show. He's made a habit of himself. He's made a habit of being the star in these penalty shootouts. He's a special, special player. Special, special team as this team of superstars continues their march on in the Durand Cup. You'd have to say there have been performers all along, performers in every area of the park, and whichever players have been put on that field by Jose Molina, they've come out on trumps, and they've given quite a performance for their faithfuls that have come in large numbers at the Salt Lake Stadium. A happy camper, a happy camp as far as Mohunbagan Super Giant is concerned. And you look at that huddle, these boys are happy, these fans are happy. They've been given a special, special showing by their favorite team. Subhashish Bose, and you can see, of course, the unity in the camp. The captain there had to be subbed off in that first half owing to a knee injury, but you can see the entire team rallying around him. The entire team together as they're just 90 minutes away from lifting their 2nd consecutive Durand Cup. It's been a wonderful advertisement of football. It's been a wonderful advertisement for Indian football. Both teams rising to the occasion. Both teams showing glimpses in that game why they're considered amongst the best in Indian football. But Mohunbagan Super Giant just about did enough to make sure that they continue in this tournament. 58% possession for Mohunbagan Super Giant. 17 shots, 5 shots on target. 8 shots for Bengaluru FC, 3 on target on the night. Meanwhile, most shots, Jason Cummings had 3 for Mohunbagan Super Giant. Most touches in the game fell to Anirudh Thapa, 58 for him. Most tackles for Liston Colasso in 4, while most passes by Alberto Rodriguez at the back of Mohunbagan Super Giant. Well, you had 2 heavyweights taking on each other in semi-final 2 of the Durand Cup, and you expected it to be a cracker of a contest, and it started like that. Sunil Chhetri had already given a 1-goal lead to Bengaluru FC after Vineet Venkatesh was brought down by Liston Colasso in the box. 1-0 up at that time in the first half. And you thought things got bad to worse for Mohunbagan Super Giant. Apuya with that horrible miss pass. Vineet Venkatesh at the end of that cross from Jorge Pereira Diaz, making it 2-0 to Bengaluru FC within the first 55 minutes. But then started the Mohunbagan Super Giant show. Just didn't give up, kept on coming at Bengaluru FC in search of that first goal. Manveer Singh brought down in the box. Petratos making no mistake from the spot. 2-0 became 2-1 with 30 minutes remaining in the game. They kept on coming, and then came this special strike from Anirudh Thapa outside the box with 5 minutes remaining in the game, leveling things up, erupting the Salt Lake Stadium. Their new signing, and then came the penalty shootouts. It all started extremely well, either side executing some expert penalties, some cool and calm finishes. Mendes there getting that penalty for Bengaluru FC. Manveer Singh then slotting it, smashing it into the top corner. Then came Rahul Bheke, make no mistake from the spot. At this time, it just seems like everyone was on level terms. Jose Molina cut a composed and calm figure in that dugout for Mohunbagan Supergiant. Petratos then came in, smashed it to the left of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, but then started the saves. Then started the Vishal Kaith's show. Brilliant save that time, but then came this one from Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, stopping Greg Stewart. But then, of course, in the very next penalty, Vishal Kaith effecting his second save in the penalty shootout. And that save, of course, taking Mohunbagan Supergiant into the final of the Durand Cup.